It was a quiet morning in Ouagadougou. Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traoré was in his office looking at important papers about how things were going in his country when his helper Marie ran into the room. "Mr. President," she said, looking really worried, "you need to see this right now." Traoré looked up from what he was reading, curious about why Marie sounded so scared. "What happened?" Marie gave him a tablet with a live TV show from the United States. Barack Obama, the old U.S. president, was on a stage, talking about world leaders and the changes the world needed to deal with. But what made Traoré really surprised was something totally unexpected. Obama had talked about Burkina Faso. Right on TV, Burkina Faso, said Obama, his voice heard all through. "The big room full of people is a great example of how small countries can make big changes under Ibrahim Traoré as their leader. The country is showing that taking care of yourself and being proud are not just nice ideas, but things you can really do." Traoré felt like his heart stopped for a second. He never thought he would hear his name come out of Barack Obama's mouth, especially said in such a nice way. He kept watching the TV show, trying to understand the words that filled the room. Traoré has said no to old ways of getting help from other countries. Obama kept talking and is making a future based on treating each other nicely and believing in what his own people can do. That is real leadership. The room where Obama was talking got really loud with clapping, while pictures of things led by Traoré showed up on big screens behind the old American president photos of farmers working on land they got back, children learning in new schools, and young smart people making new technology to fix local problems were shown to people watching from all over the world. Traoré slowly put down the tablet, still really shocked. I didn't think that would happen," he said, shaking his head like he couldn't believe it. Maurice smiled, really excited. "Mr. President, this is amazing. The whole world is seeing how good your work is." But Dare stayed quiet for a few minutes, thinking about how important those words were. He knew that what Obama said wasn't just about him. It was about all the people of Burkina Faso who were working every day to make a better future. "Marie," he said finally, "we need to answer this, but not by bragging or being full of ourselves. With being thankful and staying humble." Marie nodded, already starting to plan what to do next. She knew that this would be a really important time for the president and the country. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Obama finished his speech with a message straight to Traoré. Ibrahim, he said, looking right into the cameras, "if you are watching, know that how brave you are is making many of us feel inspired. Keep showing the world that Africa does not need to be saved. It needs to be treated with respect." Obama's words quickly became really popular on social media, making people argue a lot about running your own country, being independent, and Africa's place in the world. Hashtags like "Respect for Africa" and "Leadership with Dignity" started to spread everywhere, showing how important it is to make rules that help local neighborhoods back in Burkina Faso. Traoré kept thinking about Obama's words. He knew this was more than just someone saying nice things. It was the whole world recognizing what Burkina Faso was doing. "Marie," he said, after a few minutes of thinking, "get ready for a news conference tomorrow. We need to show the world that these rules are not just about me. They are about our people." Marie nodded, already starting to plan the details. She knew that this would be a really important time for the president and the country. The day after Barack Obama said those things, Ibrahim Traoré had a news conference at the president's house to answer the praise from around the world that Burkina Faso had gotten. The room was packed with local and reporters from other countries, all wanting to hear how the president would react to what the old American president said. Traoré went on stage wearing traditional Burkina Faso clothes, a clear sign of how connected he was to the country's culture. He started his speech calmly but strongly. "Yesterday," he said, looking right at the audience, "Mr. Barack Obama said things about our country that made me have no words." The room was totally quiet, everyone listening carefully to his words. "I didn't think I would hear my name come out of the mouth of someone as respected as him." Traoré kept going, but what touched my heart most was not the nice things said about me. It was recognizing the work of our people. He then told everyone about a new idea that would make bigger what was already happening. The Sovereign Future Program. The goal was to help local neighborhoods develop ways to fix their own problems without needing Help from other countries. This program said, Traoré is not just about politics. It is about proving that we can take care of ourselves. And most importantly, it is about showing the world that Africa does not need to be saved. It needs to be treated. With respect, the words got loud clapping from many people there, especially local reporters. However, some reporters from other countries looked like they didn't believe it, questioning if the project could really work. Mr. President asked a French reporter, "How does Burkina Faso plan to do these things without help from outside countries? Isn't it too dangerous?" Traoré smiled before answering, "Everything we do has danger," he said, "but the biggest danger would be taking help. That would hurt our pride. We are betting on what our people can do, and I know they will not let us down." The answer was shared a lot on social media, making people argue a lot about running your own country and helping the environment. Hashtags like Respect for Africa and Leadership with Dignity started to spread everywhere, showing how important it is to make rules that focus on local neighborhoods. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Traoré's team was already working to make the plan happen. The person in charge of farming organized meetings with neighborhood leaders to find places that needed help most, while Marie, the social worker who organized everything, visited villages to listen to what farmers wanted. "This is going to change everything," said an old farmer during one visit. "Finally, we will have the chance to grow food on our own land and feed our families." Marie smiled, feeling touched by how people reacted. She knew that this was more than a political project. It was a chance to make lives better. Barack Obama's words about Ibrahim Traoré quickly became big news around the world. His message of respect and recognizing Burkina Faso's independence made global leaders, social movements, and even regular people think the picture of an African country making its own changes without needing help from other countries inspired arguments about how other countries could do the same thing in the United States. How people reacted to Obama's speech was mixed. While some people who liked the old president praised his words as a way to show good examples of global leadership, others criticized the idea that African countries could do well without help from other countries. During a live interview, a political person who talks about news said he really admired the Burkinabe president. "Traoré is showing something that many of us have forgotten." I said the person who studies politics, that leadership is not about forcing solutions on people, but about helping people find their own. Meanwhile, in Africa, Traoré's way of thinking was celebrated a lot. Leaders from other countries started to do similar things, changing them to fit their local situations. In Nigeria, for example, a group of young people started a campaign called Value Your People, raising money to help country communities develop projects that help the environment back. In Burkina Faso, Traoré kept getting reports on how well the Sovereign Future program was doing. In a small country village, he met a woman named Fatou, who had been helped by the program. She was teaching woodworking to other women in the area. "Before, I could barely feed my children," she said during an interview with a local TV station. "Now I'm helping other women build a better future." It's all thanks to President Traoré. The scene was shared a lot on social media, making Traoré's image as a smart leader even stronger. Hashtags like Respect for Africa and Leadership with Dignity started to spread everywhere, showing how important it is to make public rules that put local communities first. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Traoré's team was working hard to make bigger. The person in charge of farming organized partnerships with local colleges to give technical training to farmers, while Marie organized efforts to make sure that families could get basic things they needed like water and electricity. "We're just getting started," Traoré said during a meeting with his team, "but we can already see the first signs of change. And this change is not just about money, it is about society, culture, and most importantly, about people watching what happened." A reporter wrote in his notebook, "Today in Burkina Faso, I saw the future of an Africa that cares about its history, honors its heroes, and builds bridges of respect for everyone." Fatou walked slowly towards the Innovation Center, his heart filled with mixed feelings. She had traveled for hours from Bob Delasso, carrying with her not only her suitcase, but also the memories of her mother Marie, who always dreamed of seeing her daughter do something great. When she got there, she found something she had never imagined. A crowd gathered to celebrate how well the Futuro Soberano program was doing. Marie was there, just like Traoré had said, tears running down her face as she organized the final details of the ceremony. Malik, the boy who had once fought a fever in a hospital that wasn't very good now, wore a new sweater and smiled next to her, holding a board with photos of local project. Ibrahim Traoré went on stage clearly, moved to see Fatou come into the place. He walked over to her, reaching out his hand gently. "Welcome," he said, his voice shaking with emotion. "You are living proof that we are building something bigger than ourselves." Fatou nodded, trying not to cry. "Mother always believed this day would come," she said. Holding an old book that had belonged to her mother inside it, a simple sentence was, "Written knowledge is the best thing we can leave for our kids." Traoré smiled, really. Touched by the message, he knew this was more than just a memory. It was a reminder that every kind act could make big changes. During the official speech, Traoré spoke right to the hearts of everyone. There today he started, his voice heard through the packed room. "We are not there just to celebrate numbers or public rules. We are here to honor those who built this country with their hands and minds. You are the real foundation of Burkina Faso." Then talked to Barack Obama directly, even though he knew the old American president was not there. "Mr. Obama," he said, looking right into the cameras, "your words made me have no words, but I want you to know that what you said was not just about me. It was about all the people of Burkina Faso who are working every day to build a better life." The audience clapped warmly as pictures of successful farmers' children studying in fixed schools and young smart people developing new solutions were shown on the screen. Fatou was asked to come on stage to speak. She waited for a moment before finding the courage. "My mother always taught me that we should fight for our dreams," she said, holding her mother's book, "and today, thanks to this center, I know I can make hers come true too. I want to use what I learned to help my people grow more food and take better care of the land." The crowd got really loud with clapping, and Traoré hugged Fatou. With love, he knew that this was the real way to measure if the project worked, inspiring the next kids to care about their land and their future. Watching what happened, Airporter wrote in his notebook, "Today in Burkina Faso, I saw the future of an Africa that cares about its history, honors its heroes, and builds bridges of respect for everyone." Meanwhile, in the United States, Obama watched the live TV show with growing respect. During a live interview, he was asked again about Traoré. "This guy is something special," Obama said, surprising the audience. "He is proving that real leadership means listening to your people and acting with humility." Obama's words were shared widely, making the message even stronger that being kind and real leadership can bring together people from different parts of the world. Back in Burkina Faso, Traoré kept working on changing things. During a visit to a small country village, he met a child named Mamadou who had gotten school uniforms and supplies, thanks to money made by land changes, "Mr. President," she said, her voice shaking with emotion, "this is for you. I wanted to show you that we are using what we have been given to learn." And Traoré smiled, really touched. "You don't just owe it to us, Madou. You're proving that when we give people the right tools, they can take over the world."